Good morning, dear students. Today we are going to start chapter number 4, that is Principle of Mathematical Induction. Principle of Mathematical Induction. So, in mathematics, principle of mathematical induction means what? I would like to give the explanation for this. You see, in mathematics, we are using two types of thinking processes for establishing some results. Like one process is called deductive thinking, and one is called inductive thinking. Okay, inductive, which will be called also induction. Okay, so deductive means what? If from a general case, if you go to a particular case, if you arrive at a particular case, that thinking will be called deductive. Like, suppose you say a general thinking is sum of the three angles of a triangle is 180 degree. Sum of the three angles of a triangle is 180 degree. Then suppose secondly, an isosceles triangle, if a triangle ABC, if triangle ABC is isosceles, then AB equal to suppose AC. Then you are arriving at one, you see, from this you said that sum of the three angles of a triangle is 180 degree. You have a triangle ABC. Then third thing, suppose you concluded by saying like this: therefore, since ABC is a triangle, therefore angle A plus angle B plus angle C is 180 degree. This is called deductive thinking. That means one general case was there. That general case is what? Sum of the three angles of a triangle is 180 degree. Then you are going to a particular triangle, and in that particular triangle you are establishing that result, suppose. Yeah? This is established, suppose. So from a general to particular when you go, then it is called a deductive thinking. Like suppose you are saying that Socrates is a man. One example is given in our textbook. Socrates is a man. One statement is Socrates is a man. Socrates is a man. Okay, or philosopher. Socrates is a man. Then second statement is about all men are mortal. That means every man dies. Therefore, you are coming to a particular case. Socrates is mortal. So you see, so from a general to when you go to a particular one, then you say it is deductive thinking. Inductive is what? Opposite of this. In inductive, we take a particular case, like suppose in triangle ABC, angle A plus angle B plus angle C is equal to 180 degree. Okay. So you have in particular triangle ABC, all the three angles sum is 180 degree. Secondly, again you have gone through another triangle, say in triangle PQR, triangle PQR, angle P plus angle Q plus angle R is also equal to 180 degree. Then you are lastly concluding by saying that in all triangles, sum of the angles of sum of the three angles of the triangle, three angles of a triangle is 180 degree. Means for all triangle you are saying, not necessary to say in all triangles, just you say sum of the three angles of a triangle is 180 degree. That means you are generalizing this one now what called discovery. You have realized this is one, this is another one, then you have generalized. That means sum of all the three angles of a triangle will be always 180 degree only. Got idea? So this is called inductive thinking. So dear students, we are going to use this method in proving some results in mathematics. That is about principle of mathematical induction. Okay, principle of mathematical induction is all about that one only. Means we will have to verify from a particular to one general result will go, then we will say that is the means we are using the principle of mathematical induction. Okay dear students, let us take some problems to solve. Exercise 4.1, we have to prove these results by the principle of mathematical induction. By using the principle of mathematical induction, we have to prove 1 plus 3 plus 3 square plus dot 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 plus 3 to the power of n minus 1 is equal to 3 to the power of n minus 1 by 2. We have to prove this result. Okay. There are steps like this. Step number 1. In that step, you write the statement as Pn or Sn, just you say. Pn is a statement that is given to us. That is 1 plus 3 plus 3 square plus dot 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 plus 3 to the power of n minus 1. We have to show it as equal to 3 to the power of n minus 1 by 2. We have to prove it. So now check both the left hand side and right hand side for n equal to 1. Step 1, n equal to 1 you take. Means n equal to 1 means number of terms you take 1. Here are so many terms. So you are taking one term. In the left hand side, from left hand side, if you take one term, that means it will be 1 only, because the rest of the terms you have to ignore. It means when you can say like this, when n equal to 1, P1 is equal to 1. That is left hand side. You can say left hand side. And you can say left hand side LHS. Let me write like this. LHS. LHS is P1, that is equal to 1. Again RHS. RHS is equal to, here you are putting 1. So it will be 3 to the power of 1 minus 1 divided by 2. In the right hand side part, you have to take n equal to 1. It gives you what? 3 minus 1 by 2. So 2 by 2. 2 by 2 is equal to 1. So you see, left hand side is equal to right hand side. Left hand side value and right hand side value both are equal when n is equal to 1. Now you take n equal to, suppose you take n equal to 2 now. N equal to 2. So step number 2. N equal to 2 you can take, or n equal to k you can take. For k, suppose it is like this. P of k, you can say like this. Suppose n equal to k. K is one number. So for k, this expression will be what? P of k. P of k will be 1 plus 3 plus 3 square plus dot 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 plus 3 to the power of k minus 1. That is left hand side. And the right hand side is, suppose for n equal to k, this pk is true. You have to say like this. This is second step. See dear students, in first step, for n equal to 1, you will prove that the result is true. You have proved already. See, left hand side and right hand side results are same. Left hand side is 1, right hand side also is 1. Now step number 2 is like this. You have to suppose for n equal to k, the statement pk is true. For a number k, this is true statement, suppose. So from this is particular case, n equal to 1. Now we are going to, for an unknown value k. So you see, left hand side is this one, right hand side will be what? 3 to the power of k minus 1 divided by 2. So dear students, this is a true statement. We are supposing, suppose for n equal to k, pk is true. Here I have written pk is true, meaning this whole statement is true. Now we will try to show that for k, n equal to k plus 1, just after k means here we have taken how many terms? K terms. So for k terms the statement is true. Now we will try to show that for one more extra term also this is true. Let us try for that. Okay, the right hand side part should look like when n will be equal to k plus 1, that time also the right hand side part should resemble the given this one, no, expression in the right hand side term. Step number 3 now. See dear students, I have already marked the steps like this. Step 1 is, you will suppose n equal to 1. For that you will verify the result. This left hand side result, right hand side result should be same. Left hand side result is 1 because n equal to 1 means one term, first term. And right hand side result will be, here in place of n you put 1, whatever it gives you, that is 1 only. So left hand side, right hand side when becomes equal, then you suppose for n equal to k also, k is one unknown number, the statement p of n is true, that is pk is true, means n is replaced by k. So that means this whole statement is now true. Like left hand side, right hand side both are same, equal. Now after n equal to k, we will try for third step is like this. For n equal to k plus 1, you have to establish the same result for n equal to k plus 1. Got the idea? So now step number 3, when n is equal to k plus 1, then what will be the value? That is p of k plus 1, that is equal to 1 plus 3 plus 3 square plus dot 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 plus 3 to the power of k minus 1, because last time was previously 3 to the power of k minus 1. Since we have taken n equal to k plus 1, because for n equal to k, the last term is 3 to the power of k minus 1. Then for n equal to k plus 1, last term will be one more term, 3 to the power of k. Now from this left hand side, we must get the right hand side similar to this one only. Means when it is k minus 1, what is the power of this 3? K. Like that when it is k, last term's power is here, what? K. Here what is the last term's power? K minus 1. Then what is the power of this 3 in the right hand side? K. One more than k minus 1. Then now when here is k, then we should get the last this right hand side term like this, 3 to the power of k plus 1 we should get. That means we need to simplify this. So when n equal to k plus 1, we have written the left hand side. From this left hand side, we will try to get right hand side similar to this expression. So it will be like this. So then from here to here, the sum you know, 1 plus 3 square plus dot 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 3 to the power of k minus 1. Its sum is what? 3 to the power of k minus 1 by 2. So write it here, 3 to the power of k minus 1 by 2. Okay. For this whole expression, for this you write 3 to the power of k minus 1 by 2, because it is already said this is equal to this, because we have supposed that this is true. So we are using this equation 1. So you'll have to say here using 1. Okay. Now, but this is there again, plus this term is there, 3 to the power of k. Okay, no? Then you just see here 3 to the power of k. If it now take the LCM here, LCM will be 2. Then here will be 3 to the power of k minus 1 plus 2 into 3 to the power of k, which can be written like this. See, this term, you understand, no? This is LCM here, here is 1, here is 2, so LCM is 2. So 2 into 3 to the power of k, and here 1 into this one, this is the one. 2 to the power of 3, 2 into 3 to the power of k, and here is one more 3 to the power of k. That means how many 3 to the power of k? So 3 to the power of k will be 3 times, we can say like this, 3 to the power of 3 into 3 to the power of k, no? because here you count how many times are here, 2 times, and here is how many times, nothing is there, means 1 time. So 2 times plus 1 time, 3 times. What is 3 times? 3 to the power of k. Then minus this 1, that minus 1 is still there, divided by 2. Now dear students, you see, a into a to the power of m. What is the power of a then? A to the power of m plus 1 or not? Similar way you think, 3 into 3 to the power of k. That means it is 3 into 3 to the power of k will give us 3 to the power of k plus 1, because here is 1 as a power, no? So then product of these two will be 3 to the power of k plus 1 minus 1 divided by 2. Just now, just you see, compare this one with this expression. Exactly like this expression you got here. Because here one term was increased, then here also 1 is increased. Here it was k, now it has become k plus 1. So then you see, for k plus 1 also the statement is true. When for n equal to k the statement is true, for n equal to k plus 1 also the statement is true. So what will be our conclusion? Now our last line will be like this. Since, so we'll have to write like this. Since P1 is true and when PK is true, PK plus 1 is also true. Therefore, by principle of mathematical induction, PN is true. This is our answer. Okay, dear students, today study this question, and next question if you try, and I'll explain. Don't worry, I will explain in my next class. Whatever the problems that you will be facing, just let me know. Okay, thank you and have a nice day.